You ever wish you could just relax under an awning in the shade and just chill out and enjoy nature, but you just don't have the money to? Well, there's a solution to that. I'm going to show you how to make this canopy for cheap. This cost me about $60 to make. If you're really frugal, you can make it for almost next to nothing. Alright, so Napa was selling this Maxi tracs or Max trac awning, and they went like hotcakes. Everybody bought it. They loved it. It seemed like a good deal. I wasn't really too hot on an awning at the time, so I passed on it. Napa has recently ran out of stock on it. They don't know if they're ever going to stock it, and if they do, I don't think it's going to be $99. But now that I can't have one, I want it. I want it bad. And so I decided to make my own Max trac awning. And we'll see. It's not going to be as nice as that one, I'm sure, but it might end up looking ghetto. I don't know. We'll see. So my goal is to make one for under $100. And I think I can do it. Alright, so shopping around, this is the parts I've used and the lengths that I've cut it to. Your mileage might vary. So 5 of these pins. Mine are 1/4 inch by 2 inch lock pins is what they're called. Let me open one up so you can see what it looks like. You could use bolts or any other kind of hardware you have laying around. I just got these because I think they'll look fancy and I don't have to worry about losing something. Although I think I just lost one of these. You'll find those in the hardware section where nuts and bolts are, in those little drawers where all the neat stuff is. Next, in the electrical conduit aisle, I bought 6 of these. It's a number 2 conduit hanger. And what it looks like is this. It's this. This is what I'm going to attach my awning to. So you're going to put them in like this. Just bolt them together. If you bolt them together, they won't fall. You bolt them together, they look like this. You put this on the awning, and this part on whatever you're going to attach, like your roof rack to your Jeep. The good thing about it is if your roof rack's going vertical, you can just twist it like that. And so you're going to need 3/4 inch by 20 or whatever thread count you have. 1/2 inch long bolts. Yep, they're 1/2 inch. Nuts and bolts. So it'll look like that when you're done. Or let's turn it that way so all the bolts everything's looking nice. So it looks like that when you're done. And if you need me to show you how to operate a screwdriver or a nut and bolt, then more power to you. You're also going to need 1 inch schedule 40 PVC pipe and 3/4 inch EMT conduit, the metal conduit. What I did is I took a piece of conduit and I took a piece of PVC pipe and I just went to Lowe's and I just tried them until I found a combination that fit snugly. So schedule 40 PVC 1 inch and 3/4 inch EMT seem to work for me. Try it out at your Lowe's. You might have different stuff there, but you just want PVC pipe and a pipe to slide in it. And then you kind of want it to be not tight fit, but you want it to be kind of loose, but you don't want it to be too loose that it wobbles up and down. You're also going to need one of these. This is the heart of the system. $39 on Amazon. It's a 10 by 10 tarp. It comes with instructions on how to put a tarp together, but we're not using it for its intended purposes, so we're not going to just throw that away. But it's a tarp, and it's green. It's 10 by 10. And it comes with 2 of these tent poles that you put together. And then a bunch of guide wires and stuff. I'll put a link to this below. But enough of me talking about this stuff. Let's see how we can make it look. So enough of my babbling. So the easiest way to put a canopy on your Jeep is with the magic chicken foot. I thought the dog got it, but I found it was lost in a corner. That's why it's all dirty and dusty. It's got a little toe jam. Anyhow, magic chicken foot. And here's how to do it if you don't have a magic chicken foot. So I'm going to cut my tube 64 inches. Your mileage may vary. And I think I'm going to use these quick fists to hold it up. That quick fist there and there were for my axe, which I normally don't carry. There are a lot of ways to cut the tubing. You can use a hacksaw. They make special tubing cutters, but I'm using a pipe cutter because I want a nice, straight, clean cut. Since I have my tube at 64 inches, so half of 64 is 32. Now I'm going to add about 2 inches to it. And there you go. We're going to have something that looks like that. Now it's drilling time. Alright, I don't know if it'll show up in the camera. If you look on this EMT, it's got a line down the center of it. All kinds of inch marks on it. And so I'm going to drill a couple of holes in it with a drill bit that's a little bit bigger than a 1/4 inch, so I can put my linchpin through it. And all right, there we got one. I just got to make another one. Well, this is going to slide into the end of the tube like so. And so we want to put a pin where that pin is. I can drill a hole here and be happy with it. First, I'm gonna set up the tarp and see exactly how long I need these things. So, alright, so there you have it. Of course, it's folded in half. Looks like crap. It's going to take some nickification to get this to look good. I think I'm going to have to spread the quick fists out, maybe add one on the end. That would be best. Alright, so this is the problem I'm having. This needs to come out a little further. Just need to add 2 inches to it. I'm thinking about just putting a coupling on it. A 1-inch coupler, just put a piece and just put it out to here. I've decided not to use the quick fists and just use a pipe clamp. And I guess it's squeezing it there, and that makes it kind of snugs it up. Let's give this a little test fit before we paint it up. It took me a little over 12 minutes to set it up. It's not looking too shabby. Well, there you have it. It doesn't look as pretty as the Maxi tracs awning or some of them fancy awnings, but for under $100, I think it's doing the job. It's a pretty windy day out, and it's holding up. It's giving me shade, and I can set my tent up here, and I'll have an extra little rain protection. Now it's painting time. So on these, they're kind of really rough from all the drilling. I think I'm going to hit it with the flap disc. I don't have a grinder set up for a flap disc. I think I'm just going to use the wire wheel. But first, eye protection. A little denatured alcohol. You know, Scotch-Brite pad, kind of cleanish. It's not really scuffing it up like I'd like. A little 220 wet sand. Don't get excited about this. Now the denatured alcohol. I'll just set it aside and wait for my painter to come. Now we're just going to put a happy little tree right here. This is not the actual Bob Ross, but a Bob Ross impersonator. I know, hard to believe. There it is in all its glory. All I do is pull the pin, slide the pole out. Oh, there you have it. It doesn't look as pretty as the Maxi tracs awning or some of them fancy awnings, but for under $100, I think it's doing the job. All right, there you have it. It cost me about $60 to make this. If you're frugal, you can make it even cheap. You can go to a construction area and scrounge a piece of 1-inch PVC, which I don't think they use PVC too much in residential. But 3/4 EMT, you can probably scrounge around or know somebody has one. It doesn't have to be 1 inch and 3/4. It can be any size you want. It doesn't even have to be pipe. That's just what I use. To mount it to the rack, there's lots of solutions. I went with hose clamps, seemed to be about the cheapest and easiest. And if you don't have a bunch laying around, you can get them for free at the junkyard. Next time you go, just take one or two or four off of upper and lower radiator hose, and that should be good enough. Alright, so this video didn't put you to sleep, and you're a real glutton for punishment. Check out my podcast. It's a 10-minute off-road podcast. It's a podcast for the off-road with a short attention span. There'll be a card for it up here. That's where I just drone on and on and on, and about nothing really. Sometimes it's off-road related, sometimes, well, it's always off-road related, but I tend to ramble. Got something to say? Leave a comment down below. I love hearing from people. Love the interaction. If you want me to bother you with all this latest and greatest content, subscribe, hit the bell thing, and I'll annoy you at 4 in the morning when this stuff drops. Got some time to kill? Check out this video. This one's a real good one. It's my favorite. This one I don't like so much, but you might like it. Alright, thanks for watching.